Welcome to the Downtown Re-Up. We're back, but this time with a little bit of a different thing. But before we get into that, you know me, you know that guy, and you know that guy. Now introducing Bryant.
What's up, guys? What's up?
Well, isn't that just nice? So back to what I was talking about. This episode of the Downtown Re-Up will be focused on European soccer. We here at the team, we do love our soccer or our football, right? And let me pass it over to one of the fellas over here to get us started.
Yeah, so from the first episode, we told y'all that we were soccer guys, and it was something that we were gonna incorporate sooner or later because it's something that we all enjoy thoroughly. That we also all spend our weeks watching. Same with how we watch Mavericks, Cowboys, Rangers. On the weekends, we got Chelsea, Tottenham.
Woo.
Champions League throughout the week, and so yeah, we're finally incorporating that. We're gonna probably call this something a little bit different whenever you're looking at the podcast name, so that you're not mistaking it for a DFW episode.
Mhm.
But yeah, here we are. But let's start with the big reason that we actually wanted to start doing this, and that was the Chelsea and Tottenham game that happened this past Monday.
Real quick, let's get our new guest here settled. What do you know about Chelsea and Tottenham?
You know, what I do know is that they did go against each other the other day, and Chelsea did. Tottenham did horrible. Son is washed. To put it simple, Son is just not the player he used to be.
He's on nothing.
This new guy Jackson, he's just amazing. He did a hat trick.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah. He scored a hat trick, all right. Yeah.
I think we have a lot of high hopes for Jackson's future in a career as a soccer player.
A hat trick in 20 minutes, by the way.
Yep.
Wow.
Yep.
So, what are your opinions on it, George?
All right. Well, first of all, I don't agree with a single thing you just said. All right. First of all, I think you're biased. Can't believe we got you on the show. I mean, my God. All right. Jokes aside, Tottenham Hotspur, I thought we were going to win. Those first 15 minutes where the link-up play between Brendan Johnson, Sonny, and Madison were just something dreams that are made of. I mean, we saw the goal. It was a long pass over to Madison where Madison sent it over to Brendan Johnson. Then, we put it away. And it looked like we were going to be dominating the entire game until tragedy struck. Christian Romero, the Argentinian
Menace.
All right, Spider-Man. Listen, I don't know what he was thinking that time. Listen, I don't know what he was talking about, what he was thinking. I don't know what's going on in that head of his. But he got a red card, and it was only downhill from there.
Yeah, and I mean, from our standpoint, from a Chelsea standpoint, at the beginning of the game, it was looking real concerning. I mean, Tottenham was just playing fluid football, which is what you've been expecting from them for these past few weeks. And like he said, with the James Madison pass to Brandon Johnson, and then they got it to Kulusevski, and it was, in my opinion, kind of a lucky deflection for it to go in. But regardless, it was great.
lucky.
It was great setup play. I mean, they had the defense wide open. And then after that, they had a run up of the wing. I think it was a cross to Heung-min Son that he put away. And, from there, it was looking 2-0 within the first 15 minutes of the game. But that ended up being called offsides. And then everything kind of started changing from there.
I mean, we're here talking about the physical, but can we just talk about the mental? Like when it comes to their mental, I feel like something was going on with Tottenham, because if you just if you look at the red cards and the yellow cards, it seems like they were just off on their mental game.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the coach got a yellow card. Like, there's clearly something going on here. A lot of frustration going on Tottenham's side.
I don't know where this hatred is coming from. Listen. Let me give you a little bit of backstory on this. Chelsea's team, they hired a coach.
Absolutely amazing. I know.
His name is Mauricio Pochettino. He used to coach Tottenham Hotspur. He was a club legend until he betrayed us, stabbed us in the back, and he's now coaching the rivals. But listen, what's important is the coach we have now, Ange Postecoglou, is the second coming I don't want to say Christ, but oh my God, right? He's playing. He's making us play out of our mind. The locker room, the mental of the entire team is impossible to break through. This is why I disagree with you right here, Brian. All right, this is why I disagree with you, right? Now, listen, you might be talking about Romero, right? But this shows how much confidence we have in ourselves that we're playing physical the entire game. Even though we were down, we were playing balls to the walls. I mean,
Yep. You lost.
Okay. Chelsea are the worst winners. They look like losers out there.
Okay.
We still won.
Yeah, we
We
still
still won. Don't
But
matter.
let's continue to break this down, right? So we got through. So we're up to the penalty now, right? Romero gives
Cole
away
Palmer.
a pen. Dirty tackle. Yes, he got ball, but
He got
the
the ball.
intent behind it
was
was
ready to murder
definitely
him.
there. I mean, it was straight spikes to Enzo Fernandez's ankle, and actions like those have caused injuries. I mean, I think Heung-min Son's done something similar to that before, and he like snapped somebody's ankle in half.
No, that's
didn't
not
he?
true. He doesn't know what he's talking about.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he did something like that. But anyways, yeah, it was rightfully so a red. And in front of that too, like just a few minutes before, when Chelsea had a goal actually called offsides, from Raheem Sterling up on the left wing, Romero had kicked somebody in the calf behind the play. He had gotten out strength by Thiago Silva, and then Levi Cao was passing by while Romero was still on the floor, and he straight up kicked him in the calf. The play was already gone, and they reviewed the goal and counted it offsides, but they didn't review that action by Romero. So in my opinion, he got away lucky there. But I think from that point is when the intensity just started to ramp, and that's why all that chaos happened in the penalty box. And Romero ended up spiking Enzo straight in the ankle. But from there, Cole Palmer put it away. Vicario
That was
did
a
get a
nasty
touch on it,
pancake.
but it was still too strong, and it went post right side and then in on the left side. So
No one's blocking that.
from there, it was kind of a downhill for Tottenham, really, in my opinion.
The game aside, I think the fact that we got 12 minutes added to the first half, it's a great showing of how we changed that, of how the Premier League changed the rule in the offseason about how any injury time, any time wasting is just going to get added back on at the end of the half. And that's where tragedy struck for us. Our other center back, Van der Ven, who's speedy as hell. He was catching up to what's his name, Sterling. He was catching up to Sterling pretty quickly until was it Sterling he was chasing after before he pulled his hamstring?
I think it might have been Nico.
All right. Well, he was chasing after someone, and it seemed like he pulled his hamstring, and he just couldn't walk. So we were down Romero. We were down our second center back, and then after the half we lost another defender.
Yeah, and it was getting. I mean, I felt bad in a way for Tottenham because they lost James Maddison to what pretty much was a non-contact ankle injury, and then they lost Van der Ven, which are two of their biggest signings of the summer. James Maddison and Van der Ven, big impact on their season so far, and obviously by then Romero was already gone, so it was looking very favorable for us. But not only that, and it wasn't like we weren't making scoring opportunities when it was 11v10, because for that exact reason, Udogie ended up getting his second yellow and getting sent off as well.
It was when the second half started that Udogie was. That's when he got his red. What had happened was he got an interception, a cool little interception, and then out of nowhere he just tackled incredibly hard for no reason. I don't know what that it was. I don't even think he touched the ball, to be honest. It was on Sterling. I think that just shows his youth more than anything. He was really adamant on getting the ball. I feel like he should have been patient, but he wanted the ball that much that he decided to fully double tackle Sterling. I don't know what he was thinking, but I want to give a big shout out to our goalkeeper Vicario. He was playing out of his mind. He looked like Yashin out there. He like the Chelsea team just couldn't get past him until they did.
Yeah, and I mean, big props to Vicario. Without him, the game easily could have been 7-1, 6-1, and it could have been, really out of hand for what a 9v11 should be. 4-1 already is a pretty good result considering a 9v11, but easily it could have been 7-6-1, and Tottenham would have lost anyways. But Vicario making a statement that, regardless of what's happening, I'm going to put my all into it, into every single play, is a good thing for a goalie to show, not giving up. And, I mean, Xavier can speak to that as well. He was a goalie.
Yeah. Well, it's definitely just not giving up in general in any play.
Bro.
Honestly, it just improves your mental strength. Just leading on less goals, you can go into the next match just knowing that you did your best the other match.
Yeah, so then after that next send-off, the Tottenham team, which was very surprising to a lot of us, and I don't even know if it was surprising to George or maybe he was just used to it with Ainge, is they were playing a super, super high line, basically at midfield.
It's good to nobody, man.
So it really seemed like that was something Chelsea wasn't prepared for. Typically going against 10v11, 9v11, people are going to be playing a really, really low block. Basically like a 6 in the back almost, You'll have one attacker and everybody else is playing defense. But instead, they had basically their whole line on the midfield. And I think that really threw Chelsea off, considering how young all the players are. It was a big challenge for them. And until, what was it, the 75th minute, that Nico Jackson finally came through.
After like many attempts, that guy's overrated.
Yeah, no matter. It went through.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at the stats how we're looking here, and Chelsea ended up with 17 total shots. They missed a few big chances, and I think that overall, yes, people looking at the game, everybody's gonna give their props to Tottenham for holding up well, and for playing a high line and not being scared. And in the end, Chelsea came through, and what they're being bashed for is for not putting up more goals, I guess. I don't know, because the opportunities were there. We were constantly making opportunities and making runs. Either Vicario was making a good save or he was running really, really far off of his box to be a sweeper. And it was very surprising. Near the end of the game, Tottenham ran out of gas, and we kind of figured out how we need to use our midfielders more whenever we're making forward passes, kind of like the midfielder passing to the wing and the midfielder running through the line, and then Nico following the midfielder in order to break the line, instead of just throwing over balls to Sterling or to Cole or to Nico, because in doing that, it doesn't give Vicario a chance to come out because we're more controlled in play. So once they figured that out, they put up 3 on Tottenham really, really quickly.
Well, I feel like the chances is kind of been like that all season, hasn't it? Just we always been, especially the start of the season, we've been missing simple, easy chances, and I feel like hopefully this game could kind of somewhat resolve that issue, and we could probably hopefully start putting in more goals in the next few matches.
Yeah, and you can even see it like looking at the stats here. We had 7 offsides, and I think we had like 4 goals counted off because of some kind of offense that happened before it with VAR. And that's nothing new for Chelsea fans. For us, really, it feels like we've scored more offsides or disallowed goals than actual goals. That's really how it feels at this point. But what do you think?
I think we're winning the league.
Absolutely not. Y'all are not winning the league.
You don't know what you're talking about. Your team ain't even gonna place for nothing, buddy.
Hey, that's fine. At least y'all don't win nothing.
But talk about y'all had some big chances there at the end, George.
Oh, Eric Dyer. So let me talk a little bit about Eric Dyer. Eric Dyer was our center back from, I don't know when we signed him. I think 2008 we signed him. And he's been basically our starter behind, well, we used to have some pretty good defenders, but he was our main guy for the better part of the last 5 years. He's not very good, right? This is why we signed Romero van de Ven. We signed a young guy, Ashley Phillips, who's I think is going to start against Aston Villa, or I forgot we're playing Wolves or something. But Eric Dyer came on, and he showed out. I think he needed the rest or something. He was playing out of his mind. And then at the end there, we got a free kick opportunity. It went into the box. It bounced off Bentancur's head. And then Eric Dyer slotted it home in the top left corner. Sanchez didn't even see it coming. I mean, I don't even think Eric Dyer saw it coming. But then again, it was disallowed for offsides, and that's cool and all. But it's almost the same situation. A couple minutes later, we saw another free kick opportunity where we could have easily slotted the goal home if Bentancur just inched a little bit forward. I'm talking, the ball was here and the foot was here, but he missed it. He missed it and just fell enraged at himself. I'm shaking out of how much anger. We should have won that game if nothing happened. It would have been an easy domination game. I mean, I think they can even admit that.
I think it seems like in the end of the game, Jackson was just making really good runs, and all the forwards are able to find him. And I think Jackson just did an exceptional game at the end. You know what I'm saying? Running, finding his lanes, and you know what I'm saying, just being available so the forwards would be able to find him.
Yeah, and I think that's very true because people are bashing Nico like worst hat trick I've ever seen and stuff like that. But I mean, just yesterday, Hoyland or whatever his name is for United had one rebound goal and one tap in goal where literally he was right in front of the goal and he just stuck his foot out and went in. And people were praising that, just because it was on the Champions League. But
it wasn't 9v11. That's why they're praising it.
But I mean, it's not any better than what Nico did. With Nico, I mean, he was still making his runs. He was still putting him away on Vicario. He still went around Vicario, He had an opportunity just one-on-one with Vicario. He faked the pass, and he dribbled around him, and he slotted it in, And then for the other ones, point it for, a good point for it is there's a lot of people who miss simple chances and square balls, Even Raheem Sterling, who's on our team, has done that before on Man City. I think one of the most noticeable known open goal opportunities where he was right in front of the goal and he somehow skied it. Things like that happen. And for a striker, it's still important to be composed regardless of how many people you're playing against or who's in net. Vicario was on that day. So very easily, Nico messes up on those chances and those are saves. So I think he definitely still needs his props for the hat trick. Would have been more impressive 11-on-11, definitely. But can you really say if the goals were that open, 11v11, if it was the same exact goals, just square balls 1-on-1 with the goalie, what's really the difference in how much more impressive it is? Because all he did was slot it away. Maybe to be more impressive for how they got there to get the goals to open with the assist of whoever's squaring the ball. But regardless, I mean, the 3 goals would have been tap-ins. 11-11 or 9v11.
Listen, the best striker of our generation is a tap-in merchant, so I don't know. Tap-ins aren't that bad, is all I'm saying.
No.
Yeah, and
Goal's a goal.
Yeah, goal's a goal.
A striker like Nico isn't expected to create, dribble through 2 people and then put it away. He is a poacher. That is what he does. He makes fast runs and he finds where the open space is. So he did his job. There's nothing else he could have done, You can't be upset at him for scoring 3 goals. I guess unless you're a Tottenham fan, then you hate his guts for scoring 3 goals. But that's a given.
Well, let's talk about something that none of our clubs are involved in. Champions League. Champions League, it's been, how do I say this? It's been a show. All right. Man United are not performing how they should be.
Terrible.
They're playing terrible. I'm surprised that they haven't gotten their coach out, Eric Ten Hag, that baldy. He is not Pep Guardiola, and he will never be Pep Guardiola. Because how do you lose 4-3 against? I don't even know what their name. Can you search up what their name was?
Oh, it's right here. FC Copenhagen.
I don't know
Nobody
who that is.
team.
I don't know who that is. They lost. That's it. They lost. I don't know what to say. They lost. It was a bad outing for Man United. I was expecting more from them. They're a Premier League team. They've spent over $2 billion on the current team they have. They have a promising striker in Rasmus Højlund. They have Rashford, who
hasn't been showing up in really many games this season.
Rashford's been pretty poor this year.
No,
he's honest.
terrible.
What did he do in the game that got him sent off?
He was
he was right outside the box and he was basically fighting for possession of the ball. And once he kind of had possession, what he was doing is he was trying to turn and protect the ball, And while doing that, I guess the ball had kind of gotten away from him. So what he did is he turned and he literally straight stepped on somebody's ankle. Like It looked like he stomped on somebody's ankle just directly with no regard
That's a red
for
You just
anything.
can't. You just can't do that.
And people are saying like, oh, he was just trying to protect the ball. You know, he was just trying to make a soccer play, right?
I've never seen a
And-
soccer play like that.
And it's like, you know, at this point with how the rules are, it's all about intent and how much danger you're putting the other player in. So if you're stomping on somebody on the ankle with full studs at what looks like full force, you're getting sent off no matter what. You know, no matter what you were actually trying to do, you put the other player in danger, and you could have easily, you know, ended their season. So you can't really complain about it.
You know, if we're talking about Rashford, I feel like, I don't know, I feel like mistakes like that happen. It's a physical sport. You know, I wouldn't say stomp. You know, he was trying to get the ball. He stepped on his foot because, you know what I'm saying, he tripped on his foot. It wasn't intentional.
Good way to look
It does deserve a red card, though. I'm not going to
at it.
lie.
Oh, yeah.
But things like that happen, I feel like.
Yeah, when you play at the highest level, I'm sure the adrenaline's pumping. You don't even think about trying to keep other people safe. You're just trying to get the ball, trying to score, get your team up. And I'm sure there has been other times where that almost happened, but they randomly caught themselves. But it seems it didn't happen here. And let's see. We talked about Man United, and I think I want to segue into Real Madrid, which I think is everybody's favorite to win the Champions League again this year. If you're not a Bayern fan, which I think Bayern are gonna win. By the way, they have Harry Kane. But what do you think about
Pretty biased,
Real Madrid this time?
You know,
Yes.
Real Madrid
From my
is
Real
one of my
Madrid fan.
favorite teams. You know, Vinicius did his thing like usual. He scored a goal for the team. Also, Brahim and Rodrigo.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? They're all doing their thing. And, you know what I'm saying? To put it in short, you know what I'm saying? They destroyed Braga. Braga had no chance against Real Madrid.
Not a shot.
Also,
I mean,
yeah,
I just can't wait to see the future games so they can bulldoze us against all their competition. You know, I'm not surprised if they win everything, to be honest.
That's fair.
And George, so neither Chelsea or Tottenham are in the Champions League this year. How do you think Tottenham would do if they were in the Champions League this year, considering this is the best they've looked in what seems like since they had Poach at goal? I mean, and at manager position.
goal, that's
At
funny.
goal. At manager
Imagine
position.
Poach a goal. I think in the terms of how the tables are set up, I wonder which pot we'd be in. I'm thinking, I don't know, but whoever we get, I don't care who it is, Real Madrid, Bayern, we'll take them on. I think we're gonna get. We'd probably be second in our group right now. I think we'd get put in a group with a really good team, Real Madrid or Bayern, and obviously we're not on their level just yet. But our current Cinderella story, we're just breezing through teams currently. So I think we'd be second in the groups. Moving on for sure.
I think they would definitely lose to Dortmund.
No,
100%.
no,
y'all
no.
would 100% lose to Dortmund.
You think so?
Yeah, 100%.
Why do you think that?
Their defense is crazy.
I
Solely
think
with bully y'all.
I think Romero would be upset and probably get another red card. You know how Romero is. Dude just loves this red color.
But a team that, I mean, I know that I'm looking at, I'm not sure if George is looking at, but
Didn't you used to support them a bit in Dortmund?
No, I just took a picture with them outside the American Airlines Center. They had a
hey.
team. You know what? I do remember Stuttgart having a really tall striker. Unless
We went to go watch USA play, and you had a Dortmund jersey. I remember.
Oh, I thought you were talking about
yeah,
Stuttgart.
he
My bad,
did.
my bad. I do love Dortmund. I prefer them over FC Bayern. I only mentioned Bayern because they have a player I love, which is Harry Kane. He used to play for Tottenham Hotspur until we.
He's been scoring some crazy goals. I ain't gonna lie.
I mean, when your team is superstars, I hope you score goals. I'll tell
Yeah,
you
but
what.
from beyond half is
Do you think Harry Kane is the best striker in the world?
right now.
Yeah.
no.
No.
Who is it? It's not Jackson, is it?
No.
Jackson's top 10 though. No, I'm just kidding. It's got to be Haaland and Mbappe.
Yeah.
Haaland and Mbappe are still easily 1 and 2.
Oh yeah.
Have y'all talked about Messi winning the Ballon d'Or?
The Ballon d'Or?
Yeah, the Ballon d'Or.
Ballon d'Or.
Whoopsie daisy.
I definitely think that
Is it deserved?
yeah, he deserved it.
He
There's no doubt in my mind that he deserved it. It's not just going off of club. It's an award that goes off of your international appearances as well. And a lot of times, if you win the World Cup and you're the person who leads your team to win the World Cup, more than likely, if you have an above average club stats and stuff like that, you're gonna win the Ballon d'Or, regardless of what Haaland did.
Leading up to the Ballon d'Or, just to give y'all some backstory to Messi winning his eighth. It's his eighth, correct? I believe it is his eighth.
Yes.
So his eighth.
Yes,
Hopefully.
Over Twitter, we got. I think it was like leaked, or it wasn't even leaked. It was straight up announced by Fabrizio Romano, who's like a huge insider when it comes to football and soccer related things. It was announced like, what was it? I think it was 8 days before.
Yeah, it was like a week.
Like a week beforehand. Every single day, he just keeps saying Messi's gonna win. Messi's gonna win. It really sucks out personally, right? I don't like to know who's gonna win the day of. I like the format that they have now, where they count down. So you'd be like 5. Number 5 would be like, I don't know, like Griezmann, right? It'd be Griezmann at number 5, number 4, Musiala number 3, Jorginho.
Musiala is crazy.
Well, listen, I gave y'all an example.
Yeah, I get it.
But he's gonna be up there someday. But and then finally you get to 1, and there's a big show about it. It's messy, right? But I don't like knowing that days in advance because it just sucks out the whole fun of the event. It's just not even. It's not even fun to watch.
Yeah, and I mean, one thing you can say is turn off notifications for Fabrizio Romano, but then it turns more once the Fabrizio Romano announces it. Then Barcelona fan pages are announcing it. Then Inter Miami fan pages are announcing it. Then everybody's talking about it, you know. And by then, it's not a secret to anybody, regardless if you're trying to stay away from Fabrizio Romano. You literally have to stay off of social media from whenever he announces it to whenever it actually gets revealed. And that's something that, especially us doing this podcast now, we can't afford. I mean, half of what we do is on social media, and the other half is watching sports games. So it's something that for us isn't an option. For some people, if they really cared about it that much, then yeah, they just don't look at social media for a week if it's really that serious. But for us, it's kind of, we have to look at social media, and in a way it does suck the fun out of the Ballon d'Or.
I've never understood the controversy when it comes to Messi winning the Ballon d'Or, because I don't know, I feel like it's just voters fatigue a lot of the time, because they're just like, you know what I'm saying, I feel like everyone almost like even like the fans of like, what, let's say Mbappe, Haaland, and like Ronaldo, I feel like that everyone just like already knows Messi's gonna win it. Like they just like in their mind, but like as soon as they see like someone that's not their favorite player win, they just get like mad and they just want to stir up controversy. But I feel like Messi deserves it. You know what I'm saying? He's, you know what I'm saying, been consistent, and he's still playing at the level that he's been playing for the past few years. And I mean, I don't know. Ronaldo's already declining, and Messi's still doing his thing.
Let me interrupt you quick. You're right. He's declining, but at the league he's in, it's not a good league. But he's playing out of his mind currently. He's playing Ronaldo.
He's tied with Haaland right now in goals.
He's playing really good right now. Although it's not the
goals.
same, right? It's not the same. There's the Saudi league and the Premier League. But Ronaldo's still in goal scoring form.
He's not even a threat.
Even with international.
Ronaldo's not even a threat that he used to be on the penalty. When it
you're
comes to the set piece, he is not a threat.
Oh, the set piece? Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, in international games is where you see his decline. He often gets replaced or substituted pretty early on in the game.
Yeah, it's usually before halftime.
Yeah, it's kind of sad to see, but I like that he's finding his stride somewhere.
I feel like that comparison with Haaland and Ronaldo shouldn't even be a thing, because I mean, Haaland is playing in what league? What is he playing in?
The Premier League.
In the Premier League. That's with a bunch of pros, and you know what I'm saying, over there in the Saudi league, it's just a bunch of plumbers.
Part-time plumbers.
A bunch of plumbers if people work at a burger store. So like, you know what I'm saying? I feel like that comparison shouldn't even be like that. But
yeah, and I think what they're trying to do in Saudi is they've been getting all these players, and they've been trying to attract attention and prove that it is a high quality league. But at the end of the day, you know, it's not. And the the proof is in the pudding, really. You'll watch some of Ronaldo's goals or some of Sadio Mane's goals or whoever you're watching for some reason in Saudi Arabia, and you'll see that the level just isn't there. You know, maybe is it a little bit higher than MLS now? Maybe just because of all the players they've signed, but only because of them. At its base, the players that are playing that aren't those huge signings, they're just like MLS players. It's the exact same thing. So really, I think that Ronaldo might end up finishing his career off like at an MLS club or something like that.
He said he was going to finish off there.
I mean,
Really?
I don't
He said it
see,
in a report.
I don't see
Probably just
Ronaldo.
getting paid to say that.
Yeah, I don't
Money,
see
money,
him
bro.
retiring in Saudi Arabia. Like, yes, maybe he, because he claims he really believes in the project. He really believes Saudi Arabian soccer
I
is
don't
going to
see it
become
working.
better and it's going to improve with all these purchases of players. But the attendance isn't there. The viewership isn't there. It's not getting better, and it's clear that Saudi Arabia just isn't a soccer country.
Not only that, the reason viewership is so low is because the streaming services you have to go through are like
Oh, yeah.
$20 plus.
Yeah.
No one's gonna
There's
pay
so
for
much
that.
hoops you have to jump through just to go watch the Saudi league, just to watch your favorite
That-
player.
I feel like that's the main reason it's never gonna blow up.
Yeah, absolutely. They'd have to sign the contract with like NBC or something. But
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure
They're
the,
not-
the Saudi Arabia government have like a thing against like outside
Yeah, they
foreign networks and all that.
use their own because I tried to watch one game and no shot.
Yeah, no.
I mean, getting paid like damn near $1 billion, right? Getting paid that much, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Damn near
bro.
$1 billion from the Saudi league. I mean, I'd be saying that it's gonna come up soon too. Like, I'd say whatever,
Hey, just keep coming in. You know what I'm saying?
But
Yeah, for sure.
I don't think Martinez should have won. He won goal of the year, right?
Martinez?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he did.
Yeah, I don't
He
think
did.
he should have.
Who do you think should have won, Mr. Goalkeeper?
Honestly,
He's a goalkeeper pro here.
definitely not. Or like,
Oh, you definitely know more about goalkeeping than anybody
So-
here.
Neuer definitely would have because he got injured.
Mhm.
Oh, I think mostly probably the runner-up might have been Ter Stegen, maybe.
They're Stegen.
Maybe.
I
That's
thought
iffy.
he was bad.
He was. That's the saying iffy. He might have
Mm.
been running third, but Martinez is just because of his World Cup. If you look at his club,
Mhm.
he was. I think he had like a negative goal rating.
Yeah. Well,
That's terrible. How is someone goalie?
who's his
goalie
back
of the
line
year?
at Aston Villa?
Don't matter. Goalie of the year, and you're getting that. It don't matter, bruh.
That's fair enough.
That's true. I mean, I think something like goalie of the year should go off a statistic of like more like saves like per goal, like depending on the xG against you, who held the best xG, and sometimes it might be these lower relegation team goalies that are really holding out the most goals, but that's who the best goalie in the world is. If you're having an xG of, let's say, 65 goals throughout the year and they only score like 40 goals on your team, I mean, that's 25 expected goals that as a goalkeeper you kept out that should have gone in.
Mhm.
And who cares if your team ended up 20th or 19th or 18th in whatever league they're in? The only reason that they're not worse is because of you, and you're a clear, one of the best goalies in the world. I think Vicario last year had one of the best save percentages
Courtois did
of
too.
all the goalies, and that's why he came to Tottenham, regardless of what
Yeah.
league he was
That
playing
was a
in,
bargain.
where his team was in the standings. He had the save percentage, and that allowed for people to see that he's the real deal. And he came to the Prem and he proved that.
But I think really this came up now. Courtois, I feel like really had a good chance. He did really good that year, especially the past. He's always been dominating Real Madrid really as a goalie. But I feel like seeing Martinez win goalie of the year, for me, it makes no sense. As a goalie, 0 sense. But
Yeah, and
fine.
I think it's all got to be riding on his one save in the
his
World Cup.
his whole World Cup, him blocking PKs, and I'll give him that. It's hard to do, block PKs, especially in that high of like the finals, blocking all those shots, especially. I'll give him that, but after that, he didn't really do much at all.
That's fair.
Yeah, but I mean, I guess going into the last thing that we're going to be talking about today, the U.S. men's national team has 2 qualification games coming up against Trinidad and Tobago to qualify for the Copa America.
Didn't the lineups just come out? Can we go ahead and take a look at that?
The lineups did just come out.
Can you pull it up, Jamie?
I feel like we should really experiment these 2 games.
That's
seeing-
This is our current roster, correct?
Yes.
All right. Let's go ahead and name them off.
Ethan
Ethan Wetzer.
Ethan Horvath,
Mhm.
Gaga, someone,
Gaga.
Gaga Slonina.
Slonina. You do this, bro.
We got Matt Turner, who's on loan from I think loaned out from Arsenal to I don't know where. Cameron Carter-Vickers, an ex-Tottenham player. Serginho Dest. Where is he now? Is he playing in?
He's in PSV.
I was about to say. Yeah.
Oh yeah, he's the Pepe.
Christopher Lund, Tim Ream, classic. Chris Richards. Here you go. We have Anthony Robinson. Is he still at Fulham?
Anthony Robinson is still at Fulham.
Miles Robinson. Joe Scally. He's on 04 Schalke, right?
Joe Scally is on
He's in
what's
Germany.
that? What's that other the what's it called? The black and white German team.
Pretty sure it's 04 Schalke.
Mönchengladbach.
Oh, I was way off.
Mönchengladbach is the team Joe Scally's on.
Paxton Aronson.
Paxton Aronson, yes.
We have Johnny Cardoso.
Mm-hmm.
Luca de la Torre. That dude
Mhm.
looks old. Leonard Maloney. Weston McKennie, classic. Yunus Musa, classic. Gio Reyna. There was a lot of controversy surrounding him and his family last season.
Don't matter.
But that don't
That's last
matter.
season.
Let's
That
see.
don't
We have
matter.
Malik Tillman, Brendan Aronson, classic. Folarin Balogun. What was he? In Canada? He used to be in Canada?
Who's this guy?
He's now
Balogun?
in League One.
So Balogun.
No, like he was gonna
He was with
beef someone up.
the under teams for England.
England. That's right.
He was an Arsenal player as well, but now he's on Monaco
Mm,
with what's his name? What's that guy that you like? George Minamino.
Minamino.
Yeah.
Hey, wait, let me finish up. We have Kevin Paredes, Ricardo Pepi, classic, and then Alex Zendejas. Let me see. I'm trying to remember. Do you remember? It was like a Cuban American who got sent to he was off on loan from Barcelona. What happened to that guy?
American on
Cuban. I swear he
Barcelona?
was Cuban.
Are you talking about Conrad de la Fuente?
Conrad de la Fuente. That's exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah, he's in the second league of La Liga now.
Is he good?
He scored a goal last week.
It's good enough.
Yeah, but I mean, from these players that we called up, if you watch the U.S. men's national team, you'll see
Yeah.
Pulisic and Timothy Weah are missing our big wingers,
both.
and in their place we have Kevin Paredes and Alex Zendejas. So Kevin Paredes is young. He plays for Wolfsburg. He's been getting time. He scored a goal last week he scored a goal. He has a few assists. Alex Zendejas plays for Liga MX. He plays for Club America. He's been on a tear lately, to be fair. He's been scoring a lot of goals. But, you know, it is Liga MX. Then we have Pepe, Balogun, and Brendan Aronson. But Brendan Aronson plays for Union Berlin. He hasn't been having the greatest season, but he's kind of like a staple guy for us kind of now. He's what more seems like a pace merchant at the moment. He can just cover the whole field. But, I mean, maybe he'll prove us wrong with this camp, not having Pulisic and Weah. And then, of course, up top we have Balogun and Pepe. Pepe PSV, Balogun Manacao.
He's been doing pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, Balogun's been doing good. He's been starting more than Pepe. Balogun's our number one striker right now. And Pepe's been coming off of the bench for PSV, but I think he has 4 goals and an assist, or 3 goals and an assist, coming off of the bench for PSV, which isn't bad considering how good Luke de Jong is and how much they're playing him. I think Luke de Jong has like 19 goals in all comps this season already.
He's like 30 something. He's 35. Isn't he?
How old is
Yeah.
he?
He's old.
I feel like
Yeah.
he's been there for ages
Yeah,
now.
well, his game can't really. His game doesn't really have his athleticism at heart.
he's
He's slow. He's a poacher. He's really good at head.
The only thing I know
headers.
about that is from FIFA. He's just slow.
Yeah.
he's a slow guy.
And
Yeah,
then
Mm.
and then goalkeepers wise, Ethan Horvath is a backup in Nottingham Forest, which apparently Matt Turner is a backup in Nottingham Forest. He recently lost his starting job. And then Gabriel Solina, young player. He actually is a Chelsea player. He's in the loan army at the moment because he is very young. I think he's about 19, 20 years old. And he's playing in the Eredivisie. No. He's playing in Belgium or the Eredivisie? One of those. But he is in a close to relegation zone team, so he's really been having to step up as their number one goalie. And then defenders wise, Cameron Carter-Vickers, somebody that George might know a little bit. He used to play for Tottenham. Now he's the captain in Celtic. Serginho Dest, PSV, Christopher Lund, Bundesliga, Tim Ream, Fulham, Chris Richards, Crystal Palace, Anthony Robinson, Fulham, Miles Robinson plays in the MLS. I think he's like the only MLS inclusion here, which is very surprising considering that just a few years ago, our whole team was MLS, other than like Pulisic, Weah, and McKinney, and Adams. Which, if you watch, you know that Adams is also missing, but that is because he had surgery on his hamstring.
Is Pulisic injured? Is that why he's not?
Yeah.
Like
all of them have hamstring problems. Apparently, it's a theme for this team. So then we have Joe Scally, Mönchengladbach Black, Paxton Aronson, another young guy. He is Brendan Aronson's brother, who's also on this roster, which is pretty cool having brothers in the same the senior team. Johnny Cardoso, which plays in Brazil. He's soon going to play for Betis. Luca de la Torre, Leonard Maloney, Weston McKinney, Juventus. Yunus Musa plays for AC Milan with Pulisic. Gio Reyna is on Dortmund. He's not getting much play time at the moment. And Milik Tillman plays for PSV, and he's having a great season, to be fair. He's starting a lot more than we thought he would be. And, yeah, I mean, most of these guys are expected. The only kind of surprises are Leonard Maloney, which is probably only there for now because we don't have Adams, and Zendejas and Paredes because Weah and of Pulisic. But pretty much everybody else here has earned their spot and are here because they are the best players in their division, in their respective position.
The USA are losing.
Okay,
Oh, yeah.
USA is not losing. Look up Trinidad and Tobago's FIFA ranking. Trinidad and Tobago
When's
is
the last
a
time we
terrible
even
team.
lost to them?
The last time we lost to Trinidad and Tobago was
2016?
I think that was
2016 or 2017.
I'm pretty sure it's 16.
And they were the reason that we missed out on the 2018 World Cup.
Yep.
Because we lost to Trinidad and Tobago, we missed out on the World Cup.
Well, that's been that episode of our brand new series we're starting. I hope you like it. Let us know down in the comments below. It's been real. This is the Downtime Re-Up. And if you like this, get ready for your next re-up.